Beating difficult content is extremely satisfying, but few things are more infuriating than dying because you mess up a rotation or your abilities are on cooldown. But Karnstein Armlets is a self-healing machine that can be activated anytime with 0 cooldown. You'll be harder to kill than the memory of something embarrassing you said at a party. Solar and Prismatic are both so good with Karnstein, so I'll give you 2 builds and explain the situation where one is better than the other. Karnstein Armlets' exotic perk is Vampire's Caress, which causes instant healing by Cure for finishers and melees, as well as healing over time with Resto ×1 on melee kills and Resto ×2 on finishers. Resto ×2 can be extended by any Resto source, even if you are extending ×2 with the ×1 source. If it's been a while since you've used Karnstein Armlets, you might have missed that its healing is now tied to Solar 3.0 terms, which is huge. Therefore, you can extend its restoration effects nearly infinitely using the Solar subclass by getting Solar weapon kills thanks to Ember of Empyrean. This is the main reason that I decided to make this a comparison video. It is extremely easy to maintain Resto ×2 and way more consistent. I made a video on this last season, so feel free to use the link in the description for more info. In short, Solar is the subclass to use for easy mode survivability, with as little effort put into maintaining it as possible. The dim link in this video is updated to now include new content like the Hellion aspect and Song of Flame Super. But Prismatic outshines Solar in situations where you want more damage. The biggest and most obvious strength of Prismatic is Transcendence, and it makes Karnstein a healing machine. It is a great panic button to instantly refresh melee energy to get healing, and if you use the Lightning Surge aspect, you can run around the battleground spamming it and healing like crazy. You can get this panic button refreshed extremely quickly. I managed to refund most of it by just doing DPS in a boss damage phase. Plus, Prismatic allows rapid arc kills like Lightning Surge to give you Amplified and activate extra damage resistance through the Galvanic Armor seasonal artifact mod. In short, Prismatic is a higher effort, higher reward option. While both Solar and Prismatic have access to Song of Flame Super, it gives Prismatic a second survival panic button. It has massive inherent damage resist, and the Super melee procs Cure and Restoration when you're using Karnstein, making you practically immortal while the Super is active. I also love that while using the Solar Super in Prismatic, Facet of Purpose effectively transforms your Orbs of Power into Restoration pickups. So my build focuses on multiple orb generation sources. Keep in mind that this extends an active Resto ×2 buff if you have it. For our second aspect, you can go with a nice damage option like Hellion. However, for solo survival content, you really can't pick a better choice than the aspect Feed the Void to get Devour on ability kills. Now, you might ask why we would pair Feed the Void with Karnstein. Beyond the obvious answer of because we can, I found myself getting ripped down from full health really quickly in the Legend campaign. Therefore, having healing over time from Karnstein was very clutch, and it allows you to keep healing yourself through weapon kills after the resto from Karnstein wears off if you are too far away from an enemy for a melee or finisher. Since the biggest strength of Prismatic is Transcendence, the remainder of our fragments focus on earning Transcendence energy faster. This is going to be a level of detail that I've received requests for since Prismatic is so new. If you really need to, you can skip to the next chapter for weapons, but you may not fully utilize this build if you don't understand these intricacies. Hopefully most of you will learn a thing or two, so let's get into it. Facet of Sacrifice gives you bonus darkness energy on ability kills while you have an Arc, Solar, or Void buff. Between Amplified, Restoration, and Devour, this should be nearly constant. I use a light aligned primary for reasons I'll get into in a minute, but you should change this fragment if you want to use a kinetic or darkness primary. Next is Facet of Balance, which gives us melee energy when rapidly defeating targets with light energy like Lightning Surge or our primary weapon. Facet of Bravery gives your void weapons, my primary in this build, volatile rounds on grenade kills. This works for regular, Transcendence, and Song of Flame grenades. More importantly, it gives your strand weapons Unraveling rounds, and our secondary and heavy weapons are both strand in this build. Therefore, Facet of Bravery can give all of your weapons anti-barrier effects, and the constant tick damage of Unravel does a really nice job of granting darkness energy and extending Transcendence when it's active. In most of the video gameplay, you'll see me using Dragon's Breath, as it's my favorite for boss DPS. Outside of boss DPS, I found I really enjoy heavy machine guns. Finally, Facet of Devotion gives us bonus light Transcendence energy for defeating strand or stasis debuffed targets. And since we will be regularly having Unraveling rounds, we'll be getting a lot of bonus Transcendence energy. For weapons, I really like a weapon with Repulsor Brace, as it gives us a Void Overshield when defeating Void debuffed targets. This really helps melee regen and damage through the Shield Crush seasonal artifact mod. It also synergizes nicely with our fragments and adds some valuable survivability. My personal favorite is Word of Crota from the Crota's End raid. It can be crafted with both destabilizing rounds and Repulsor Brace, which means you'll constantly proc Repulsor Brace when killing targets. It also has the Cursed Thrall origin trait, which works amazingly well in melee builds by causing Cursed Thrall explosions on weapon kills for a short duration after a melee kill. You can search Repulsor Brace on Light GG for a list of weapons which can roll with it, if you don't have the pattern for Word of Crota. I use the Call Strand Rocket Assisted Sidearm as our special weapon, as it has great ammo economy. It can be crafted with amazing perks like Lead from Gold and One for All, and the Dealer's Choice origin trait causes solar explosions on precision or multi-kills with the seasonal artifact mod Winning Hand. As I've been enjoying heavy machine guns for ad clear outside of boss DPS, the new Strand Pro Memoria heavy machine gun is a nice choice, as it can be crafted with so many amazing perks. My top picks are Hatchling and Dragonfly for ad clear, or Envious Assassin and Bait and Switch if you want more damage-oriented perks. Keep in mind that our secondary and heavy weapons will be doing a lot of extra damage because Facet of Bravery will regularly be giving them Unraveling rounds. For our seasonal artifact mods, I chose Overload Hand Cannon and Unstoppable Sidearm for the anti-champion effects, but also because these weapons will be overcharged when overcharge modifiers are active. Authorized mod Elemental Charge is great to get cheap armor charges with that mod on your boots. Winning Hand, Galvanic Armor, and Shield Crush, as mentioned before, are extremely helpful. Threaded Blast makes Tangles a mini nuke, but you have to shoot them with a strand weapon in order to trigger the benefits. This part of the mod is easily overlooked in the description. Radiant Orbs is a free source of radiance on orb pickup. And finally, Transference is a nice boost to melee and grenade damage while Transcendent, and gives us some bonus darkness and light energy back if you get weapon kills while Transcendent. I have our armor mods on screen now. They primarily focus on multiple sources of Orb of Power generation, but they also give us extra melee energy so we can trigger our healing sources more frequently. If you like this build, you'll definitely like the Necrotic Grips build on screen now. Please like and subscribe for more Warlock builds. Thank you so much for watching.